Hi guys, it's Monday, week 19 of the series and 1st of January 2024, so Happy New Year and here's to a good one. Starting off with just 3 hours easy on the trainer today. Late night last night, lots of dancing, so legs we're already pretty knackered. Easy zone 2 spin today just to keep the legs ticking over on the TT bike, so spending some nice time in the time trial position as well because I haven't done that for a few weeks. So really focusing on the same things about rolling the shoulders forward to reduce my frontal area and having a nice flat back, being in a position that's aero but also comfortable so that I can also produce the power. And I'll find that out in the next few months when I start doing specific efforts in the time trial position and seeing how much power transfer I have between two positions, so the full road bike position and the TT position. 2 hours in now, so just going to do a little bit of time trial work with the helmet on, holding the position and having the tail of the helmet being continuous with my back. So have a play with that. Going to do a few more drills with the helmet on, so do 2 minutes in the position, 1 or 2 minutes rest. Middle back a bit flatter because rounding up quite a lot higher than the tail of the helmet, so I'd ideally have the tail of the helmet and all of my back be at the same height and perfectly flat. Minimise it so my back's as flat as possible. Hi guys, it's Tuesday on the TT bike again today, doing another low cadence session, bumping up the time at intensity again today, so going to try and do 2x6 minutes at low cadence today, and then 2x6 minutes at high cadence as well. Going to be continuing to do some 5-second sprints to start the session and bump it up from 8 to 10. Power will eventually come up at some stage to get more used to them. Legs are feeling a lot better today, certainly not as heavy as the last 3 or 4 days, so that's nice. Feel like I can pedal a lot nicer and power is going to be a little bit higher as a result, which is good because it's been down on the past few days, which is fine. It really doesn't matter for zone 2 so long as you're within a range like there's miles in the bank, back up to more normal numbers. Also continuing to play around with the TT setup, so I've reduced the stack on the front from 20mm of spacers to 10mm. Again, pretty comfortable with the 20, so the 10 feels potentially too low. My back is a lot more arched, whereas with the 20 I was able to have quite a flat upper and middle back. Give it a try with these lower extensions and see if I can get into a nicer position and how it feels. Maybe play around with this for the rest of the week, but it might be the case that I move back to 20, which is good because then I've finally come to a conclusion about how I want the TT bike set up, and then I can just continue working on the position from there rather than having to make adjustments. I'm not going to write off the 10mm spacers straight away, I'll give it a shot, but if I think it's worse I'll move back to 20 and then finalise it at 20. So my 10 5-second sprints, they went well, so then moving on to the low cadence and the high cadence work now. Two by 6 minutes of low cadence now, so that's actually really good. I was happy with that. Obviously really hard work, but the progression during last week has been really good, going up from doing 2 minute efforts to being able to do 2 6-minute efforts, which is really promising. And I was right about being able to get used to these high torque efforts very quickly over these first few weeks. Should be close to being able to do 10-minute efforts by the end of this week, which would be really good. So yeah, happy with that. Still got the high cadence efforts to do now, which are always surprisingly hard because your Type 2 fighters are so burnt out from the low cadence work. Video of me doing the low cadence there looked like I was pushing 200 watts. But it looks so easy and it's so bloody hard. Got my 2x6 minutes high cadence now. That was, again, good. Not easy at all, but getting used to being able to do those efforts after the low cadence stuff, so not feeling as bad as last week. Which was really nice. The power was definitely up a little bit because generally my power was dropping off on those efforts last week, so that was nice. Getting used to these sort of sessions, which was the key for last week and then this week, so that I can do some harder sessions for the next few weeks of the block. Tapping out some zone 2 miles now, just to top up to 3 hours for the session. So yeah, play around with TT bars in this new position with the lower stack on the front. Hi guys, it's Wednesday on the TT bike, just doing 2 hours, 3 hours then 2 today, 2 hours in now. Hopefully it's going to clear up a lot the rest of this week, so get out on the bike the rest of this week, which is good. Getting a bit tiresome riding indoors this much, and yeah, very struggling on these zone 2 rides, because obviously the low cadence sessions are taking a lot out of me. So I get to these zone 2 rides and normally it's easy to just tick away, but putting my recovery towards those sessions, so means that these ones ease off a bit more, get it done. It's going to benefit me a lot in the long term, so yeah, just cracking on with it. Spending some time with the helmet on, drilling the proper position in the TT bars, seeing what I think about this stack height on the front, and if I want to keep it at this or move it back up to 20mm. Really good last hour of the ride there, getting lots of good time in the time trial position, as I was just alternating between holding the time trial position and then getting in the base bar, so spending 2 to 3 minutes in the TT position and then resting on the base bars 90 seconds to 2 minutes for an hour, so 35-40 minutes in the TT position, which is really good because it's like teaching my shoulders to hold that uncomfortable position so that I can get them narrower and narrower, so that over time it's just going to get better and better. So yeah, that was really good. Just finish off the ride now, 3 hours in. Good stuff. Guys, it's Thursday, out on the bike again, finally. Yeah, still got a low cadence session today though, so going to be doing that outside for the first time. Got a good idea of how I can do that, the low cadence and the high cadence stuff, so have a go, but with a grain of salt. It's going to be definitely a lot more difficult with more factors to control than if I'm just indoors on the trainer. I'll do my sprints and then get started with the low cadence work on a hill that I'm planning on. Had some issues with my Di2 not working. I wasn't able to shift gear. Yeah, thought I was not going to be able to get in the right gear for a lot of them and I'd have to go home, but managed started working again. Don't know what's going on with it. It's just being really weird. It just, if I don't shift the front chain rings within a certain period of time, it like shuts off the Di2 and it's barely shifting, so just need to keep shifting even if I don't need to, so whatever. It seems to be working okay. Try the low cadence on this hill that I'm going to now. Done all my efforts now, so that was 3 by 5 minutes at low cadence. The hill I was planning on doing, well, I was doing it on, I did the first rep and it took about 4 minutes to get to the top of the hill, but I was able to extend it onto another hill, short rest period in between, and to bring it up to 5 minutes. And then I decided to move to a different hill that I was able to do the low cadence work on, and that was about, well, that tapered off at the top, but I smacked it in the highest gear when it was on the flat, and that was around 400 watts and 50 RPM, so that was perfect, so it worked absolutely fine. 3 by 5 minutes low cadence, and then I did 2 by 7 minutes at high cadence, and I just decided to do it on the exact same hill because it's like it's not super steep, between 5 and maybe 7%, with some like flatter pitches in there, but I was just able to put it in a little ring and generally able to keep above 100 RPM. There was like one section where dropped to 95 or so. Able to keep to high cadence, which is good. Nice little session there. So good first attempt at doing it outside. So happy with that. So much nicer to be outside again. Loving it. Heading to the gym for a session now. Wanted to go on Tuesday, but gym is actually shut, so wasn't able to do that. But so might be able to train on Saturday as well. Then I get 2 sessions in the week, and then got to start getting used to the gym load again. Not have DOMs after a session. That'll be good. An hour and a quarter, having 20 minutes in the gym sort of thing that I'll be doing. Hi guys, it's Friday. It's another lovely day today. So out on the bike for just 4 hours, zone 2. Obviously legs are a bit tired and achy from yesterday doing that high torque work, and then being at the gym. But yeah, not too bad, so able to just tap out on my zone 2 and not feeling too bad, feeling pretty good to be honest. And yeah, stop here because absolutely gorgeous view. Good to get out for a bit of a longer ride again there, because for the last couple of weeks it's mainly been 3-hour rides, 3.5 sort of hours. So good to 4 hours isn't crazy. It's not 5.5, but yeah, still a bit of a bigger ride and felt absolutely fine on it, which is nice. No, I always get to the stage in a longer ride where however far in, 3 hours in, 3.5 hours in, I'm like, oh, I'm tired. But didn't even get to that stage during the ride, just tapping it out for the whole ride and felt good. So yeah, nice and promising. Just set up my other 9 Velo wheel, so this the rear wheel, so it's got a 28mm Conti 5000 on it, and then this is an 1132 cassette. Currently I've got a 1130 cassette on there, so but brand new cassette on the brand new wheels, and the weather's looking good tomorrow, so I'll get out on these new wheels I reckon and test them out, just see if they're all good, and then keep them nice and ready for racing. But I could do with cleaning that cassette that's on the bike already, so might switch the new cassette onto the training wheels and then have the slightly smaller cassette on the race wheels. It's nothing to do with the weight. I mean, the weight is going to be negligible. It's more so I can make use of having that extra slightly easier gearing on the training rather than racing where I'm less likely to need it. This is the bike with the 60mm. These are Pro X wheels. And I'll pop the new ones on. Here we are with the 40mm wheels instead. Such a quiet hub. Get it going. Just a little purr. Chain even gets onto the biggest gear at the back, so I'll be absolutely fine to use this cassette for training. Then clean that one up all nice, degrease that, and then it'll be pretty much, I mean, it's not super old, so should be absolutely fine for using for racing. Before I get out on my first ride, I've actually just checked the spoke tension, so I have an idea of what the tension should be for if it comes out of tension and I need to adjust it, because with my training wheels, they're not super out of true, but I could definitely do a better job with that. I just need to take the time to really be diligent with it. Average value of each spoke tension. Oh my god, it looks like a skull. That's pretty cool, like the shadow. But yeah, I didn't have the initial values that it started off with. I could convert it from this measurement to based on the spoke to what's recommended on the website. Probably worth doing that, to be fair. But at least with this, I have a baseline of like what the wheels started out as. Tension meter is 24 for the drive side, 20 for the non-drive side, and then for the front wheel it was 22. So that's just a figure that I could use if it comes out of true at some point. Morning guys, it's Saturday. Getting out on the bike with the new race wheels, so the 9 Velo wheels with my GP 5000s on there. So yeah, this is the race setup, but just testing it out for summer. Setup's feeling wicked fast. Obviously it's a nice pair of wheels, but then make a big differences in the tyres. Just having the Conti 5000s on rather than Gator skins, that's 10 watts per tyre, I think. I don't know, rolling resistance is, bicyclerollingresistance.com is per tyre, but Gator skins are 20 watts, rolling resistance, GP 5000s are 10 watts, so yeah, that's such a faster tyre and you just feel it, and then the wheels feel really snappy, which is really nice. So yeah, just go do a couple more sprints now. Decent first few 5-second sprints there, so a couple more to go, and then I'll move on to the low cadence work, move out to a hill further out. Just finished all my efforts now, so that was 2 by 9 minutes low cadence threshold up one hill. Then I cycled to a different hill and did 2 by 8 minutes high cadence threshold up this other hill. Really impressive how I was able to do the low cadence stuff and how good that felt. So really paying off, getting used to the high torque work. So happy with that, and then yeah, feeling able to recover from that and get the high cadence work done as well. Type 2 fibers becoming more resistant, which is really good. So yeah, super pleased with that session. The second week of doing this low cadence work, I've come up with the finalised plan of this low cadence block that I'm doing. So it's actually going to be an 8-week block. So I'm going to do, including the weeks that I've already, these first 2 weeks. So it's going to be 3 weeks on, then 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. I'm just doing that because it's a brand new training stimulus and don't want to overdo it. So, and on the off week, it's just, I'm still going to be doing intervals that week, but I'm just going to cut out the high torque, low cadence work, because that's going to be the most stressful part of the training block. So that first week I did 6x2 minutes, 4x3 minutes, 3x4 minutes. So 12 minutes of work at the low cadence, then 3x4 minutes, 3x4 minutes, 2x6 minutes at high cadence. So it was, the sessions were, all 3 of those sessions were, they were just getting longer intervals at the low cadence, but 12 minutes of work at low cadence, 12 minutes of work at high cadence. Now this week I've managed to bump up the duration of the low cadence efforts, which is one of the main aims. When Jay Vine talked about UAE's principle on the low cadence stuff, it was, the aim of it was to pick a torque that they're working at and then get to those longer intervals. And I'm doing sort of threshold power for them, so I want to get to a typical threshold interval of 10-15 minutes. So this week it was building that up, so it's 2x6 minutes, 3x5 minutes, 2x9 minutes at low cadence, so bumping up from 12 minutes of intensity to 18 minutes. And then just ticking over with the high cadence work. It was 2x6, 2x7, 2x8, so just gradual increase there from 12 minutes to 16 minutes. And the third week of the block, it's going to be ramping up the time at intensity a little bit more. So going for 3x6 minutes, 2x10 minutes, 3x8 minutes. So working from that 18 minutes that I got to at the end of the second week to getting up to 24 minutes at low cadence. And then also increasing the time of the high cadence stuff to go along with that. So 2x8, 2x9, 2x10 minutes. So yeah, just very standard basic increase there. Then I'm going to take a rest week, and that rest week I'm just going to be doing high cadence work, so just 3x10 minutes or 2x15 minutes high cadence, so 30 minutes of threshold work, but without the stress of the low cadence. And then three weeks on again, so that's going to be ramping up from around 30 minutes of low cadence work to around 40 minutes of low cadence work across the 3 weeks. And spicing it up with the different lengths of intervals, and then the high cadence work during the second phase of the block. So week 4 to week 7, it's going to be pretty much maintaining just a little bit of high cadence, just to, after I've done the low cadence stuff, do a little bit of high cadence work on the side just to keep my legs able to tick over at that level. And then the final deload week is the final rest week is just going to be doing high cadence again, so 36 minutes of work at high cadence. And after that, that's going to be mid-February by the time I finish that block, and the first race I'm planning on doing probably end of February, start of March. So I'll just be doing typical, probably going to a very standard threshold type block, maybe a little bit of VO2 max thrown in there, but this low cadence, high cadence work should really set me up nicely, because it's teaching me to get used to operating at that new torque level of around 70 to 75 Newton meters. And then when I go back to my preferred cadence, I should be able to use that torque at my preferred cadence. Well, get closer to that torque at my preferred cadence, as I've got the muscular efficiency to get close to that level of torque. So yeah, all the interval sessions planned now. So yeah, it's just going to be executing them. I understand how to do the sessions now, so it's not, I don't have the excuse, oh yeah, I'm not feeling it, I've never done this session before. It's okay, I know exactly what I'm doing, I'm executing it, and unless something goes completely wrong, I execute it. Alongside the low cadence work, I'd also been working on the sprints, so I'm going to continue working on that for the third week of the block, so continue working on that 5-second sprint, increase the number of intervals I'm doing as well. And then in the second phase of the block, so week 4 to week 7, I'm gonna, rather than working on the 5-second sprint, I'm gonna work on the 10-second sprint instead. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Get those very upper end power numbers up, because a lot of it's just technique, getting efficient on the bike, able to produce the power, and that should coincide nicely with the gym work I've been doing. So get back into the gym, learn those pathways again in the gym, and then hopefully utilize them on the bike, because yeah, that would be great.